Well, g'day everybody. It's just Clark back again with what I see as an important update on the fight that we have at the moment for freedom right across the world. And this is happening right here in our local town of Kingaroy, Queensland, Australia. Yeah, basically what's happened now, there's been a constant vigil out in front of the local police station since Monday, where a group of very concerned, very decent, polite, law-abiding people have come together, and they've actually produced documents and asked the local police to investigate what they see as a crime against Australians.
It's been quite a tiring wait for us, and we really weren't sure exactly what was going to be happening. We just knew that we had to be here, and we're all here at the right time in history.
What they're saying is that they've got proof, damning proof, of heinous genocidal crimes against Australians. Okay, and they back this up with signed, stamped documents, research documents, which they have put in front of police and asked that something be done immediately. Okay, now what would normally happen if somebody comes to a police officer with a report of a crime and is willing to put evidence down, or what they see as evidence and proof to substantiate their claims? Usually what you'll see would be that police would give them a case number and investigate the situation. Now, for 5 days, they've been out in front of the police station, and finally they've got an answer that the police are saying that they don't recognise the common law principles that these people are operating under, and they don't intend to do anything. Okay, so there's been a crime reported, what people see as a crime, including deaths of Australians, and the police will not act. Now, before people race off there and say this is just a bunch of crackpots and idiots that are doing this, or use some of the rhetoric that we've seen from some of the political leaders around the world, calling them racist, misogynistic, tinfoil hat wearers, this sort of ridiculous tripe. Before you start doing that, realise that these are very polite, decent, everyday people that just have been pushed to their limits. Okay, and the guy that is out there in front of them is a guy by the name of Mark Tones, who's a First Nation guy, and you wouldn't get anybody more polite than this man. So have a look at this for yourself, and I think you'll agree that there's something there. When there's smoke, there's usually fire, and I'm sure in this situation there is something going on. Okay, now some people say that common law does not exist in this country anymore, that we're actually under maritime law. Now, I'm no lawyer, I can't look at that, but there's other people listening that could. But when the police were asked if they were operating under maritime law, look for yourself, and the response was yes.
So I appreciate what you're saying, and by the law that you now serve or have been serving, which is the maritime law, is that correct?
Now, something's happening here, ladies and gentlemen. We see the huge convoy, the rally there going into Ottawa. Fantastic. We're all behind you guys and gals. This is just awesome. Fighting for the freedom of everybody in the world. We're also seeing our own rally down in Canberra. Same thing. All power to you people. You're making a stance. But here's a small group in a small country town that are doing the same thing, and the same thing is happening in other places across Australia at the moment.
This morning, I think most of you know what has happened behind the scenes, but I'm really going to hand it over to Mark, because Mark's the one with the news.
I'm talking to all the families of the world. I stand here proudly, strongly. The words our people have spoken for years, heed the words and listen. Always ours, always will be the power of the people. And with that, I want to clarify a few things for those that are here and those who may see it on the tapes, videos. This is being done in Canberra as we speak. They're being notified of who the court spokesman is. I hope and trust in the divine power that I follow. We all have different names for this divine power. For me, my inner being, my strength, my source, speaks to me. For some they call him God, Buddha, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's not about what we call him. It's about you, the people, recognising that divine power. And it's there. I stand here proudly with the words on me. Always was, always will be. That's the power of the people. That is what it stands for.
What are we doing today?
So, firstly, I'd like you to recognise by name and badge number who you are, and that you are in fact the senior in charge of the station at the moment, please.
No, my name's Brad Johansson, Sergeant 9811, and I'm the shift supervisor here today.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're right.
So we brought to the attention of the police station on Friday extremely serious crimes, genocide against people. The evidence was presented. We've sat back patiently, quietly, just as all the people of all the jurisdictions, of all the police stations throughout Queensland, not only Queensland, but Australia, not only Australia, but the world, and indeed the planet. At the moment, I'm going to present you now with a fully authorised, signed, dated, fingerprinted authorisation by the International Common Law Courts of planet Earth. I presented you one on Friday that wasn't stamped, wasn't signed, wasn't fingerprinted, and wasn't dated. This one now has the full power and the authority of the common law courts. On behalf of the people of this jurisdiction, being the sergeant in charge of this police station, to now recognise and give us your response to the international common law courts of the planet.
But unfortunately, the common law court as you have on your document is a recognised court.
So I appreciate what you're saying, and by the law that you now serve or have been serving, which is the maritime law, is that correct? Which is the law that's governed by the government of this country.
Why maritime?
So you need to ask your superiors, I think. I can assure you
Okay.
that
I have
court.
I have your documents. It's been looked at.
Yep.
I've taken your report as I
Yep.
said I would.
And we appreciate that.
The report number.
Yep.
All the documents you've given me have been looked at.
Yep.
And examined.
So we're not requesting this time. We the people,
Fine.
empowered by
We
the
can only act
courts.
on things that we have lawful authority to act on. This
That is
not-
whilst you continue to recognise
This isn't
the
a
law that
recognised
you are
law.
serving. So I believe under oath, your oath was to protect the people, is that correct?
That is. That's what
And
we
we
do.
the people are calling on you now
Yeah, right.
to protect the people. So you have had all the paperwork, you have had ample time to review the information given, to recognise the urgency of the call of the people.
All
I
can
speak
tell
on
you-
behalf,
Yeah, all I can tell you, Mark, is all the documents you've given me are not recognised legal documents in this state.
well they are, sir. Gentlemen, please remain silent.
So we can't act on that. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and argue the
Well, I'm not arguing, sir, I'm talking to you.
I know, and I respect that you guys have been peaceful and respectful, which is great.
And I'm proud of the people.
Yeah.
Please
Well,
review the paperwork because the
Yeah.
consequences of your decision are now in your hands.
We, the people of the Assembly of the jurisdiction of the police station, Kingaroy, continue to stand outside the Kingaroy police station, remain standing and waiting. That is the why. As indeed the Assembly of People of Queensland and all states of Australia continue to assemble the people of Australia. Let it be known and acknowledged that under the natural law, it is the inalienable right of the people as sovereign men and women to covenant into self-governing bodies to enact laws and provide for the safety and liberty of their families and communities. Therefore, I, the undersigned, do hereby establish such a freely elected People's Assembly as a self-regulating and elected legislative body and legal body, subject to no other authority except other such free assemblies whose delegates are gathered in a common law congress. I, the undersigned, do solemnly swear to maintain and defend to the death this sovereign people's assembly as a just, lawful body that is the voice and the safeguard of the people of our community. I swear to join other members of the assembly to govern ourselves and this assembly according to its constitution and the common law, relying on the people and their militia and on their common law courts for its safety and well-being. I, the undersigned, do hereby set my oath and name to this charter, Mark William, family name Tones, Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022.
Just remember, I know you're talking about your common law court and what it says you can and can't do. Every person in this state is subject to the laws of this state. So you can do what you like as long as you're within those confines of the law of the state and the country.
We're happy to comply with all your requests.
But please review the papers you've received and recognise the call and also the consequences of not hearing the call. And then I expect that to be passed on to all the people under your command and then act on what we have presented.
So have a look, decide for yourself, do your own research, and if you like it, please like us on Facebook there and share this widely, please. Thanks again. God bless.